This is part 7 for speech recognition, but we get deviated to a, a kind of a chatbot, a text messaging app basically. So I was thinking to work on something which is like not speech system, but more into like giving a chat interaction. So I, I already like an idea about chatbot, but then I want first thing that I wanted is to be like platform independent kind of thing. That it is either I'm going to use something which is available in every platform or something like that. But so I came across Telegram. Telegram is somehow available in Linux. It's on Android. It's on iOS. It's on Windows. So I was happy with the with the Telegram part. Secondly, it has a great API, and we can actually create a client using Python and then use that client. For me, it is good because I can interact with the same database that I've been using for speech recognition system. So using a same database helps you to basically it should not look like that there are two different independent systems, right? It should be one system that is available both on the speech system and plus on the text version, like chat based. So initially I was thinking about chatbot, but chatbot has like limitation kind of thing, and I didn't like it much because for working on multiple requests, you need to set up a server and everything like that, which is quite hectic. So I already have a Facebook account, Gmail account, and a phone number which is completely working for Shyna. It's all on me, but yeah, I've dedicated those things to the system. So I use the same phone number and I try to register on Telegram, which is quite successful and it's easy peasy. It's not a big thing to work with. So first thing how I came across to Telegram is using this command. So we have sudo pip3 search telegram. So this is actually a search command that we have for pip, and this has actually helped me to come across to speech recognition, to Google underscore speech, the TTS that I've used, and many other packages. So if you ever want to search for something specific, like like Facebook, if you want to work on Facebook, this is the best way rather than going to Google, because you get a list of packages which are available for your version, and they're gonna help you out, and you have a description also. So it is way easy for you to actually use them and then simply implement them. So that too, there is a small hack, like be sure to cross check with the version. The more the version available, basically the package is more up to date and it has more implemented. So person who are the team which is working on it, so they're trying to implement and improve it. So that is the best thing to work with. So once you install that package, all you need is an API ID and API hash ID that you need to get into API development tool. You need to come across with this. Once you hit this URL, you need to log in first, and once you log in, you get to this page, and if I click on this, you will be able to search see my API IDs, which I'm not going to share it with you. So please click on this and you'll be redirected to a particular form which is like application creating form. So the API ID and hash ID, those are already available and those are free. You can use it. You just have to give up the form, giving an application name and the number, and once you're done with that, you just save it, and the API ID and hash ID you can simply copy and use it. Okay, so once I get the ID, after searching the package, Telethon is one of the packages that I use to create a client locally, and it is actually a great package that I came across, and it has a lot of features which are available, and it's really easy for me to interact with Telegram um, permanently. So it's a problem solving package that you should actually refer and work on. I did some improvement while I was dealing with the chat. There is a lot of possibility. People add a lot of punctuation mark, and while tapping, actually, it's more possible that you need people may put a lot of emojis and punctuation mark. So for all that, you need to suppress them. So I use regex, a small. So this is the website. I'll make sure that I paste the command in the paste the link in the comments. So this is the website that I've used for. This is the database that I was previously already introduced you with that we have a table command, which is basically we're going to search for the keyword and give the response as required. And one more table that I created, which is not found. So there are possibilities that I've been working with the chatbot, and people may give different kind of chat request, right? And those are not available in the command section. It's in the command table. So basically, I am maintaining a record for them, and if the keyword seems to be very familiar and quite common that people may use, I can simply use that and create a new interaction level. So it's like helping me to create my own data set. So this is the logic that I've used. Here I have used almost 3 files to deal with. This is Shyna ConvoDB, which is like previous file which I may have introduced you with like part 4 or part 3. I don't remember much, but I created a new basically defined function because as I'm saying, like in part 6 I'm using multi-processing. If we are using multi-processing, it's a possibility that you're going to deal with speech system with the chat system. So if that is the case, and if I access with the same function, it's possible that the speech system is accessing the same database, and Telegram also asks for the same database, but it will say the database is locked because it's being used by the speech systems. You cannot give it access to the chat system. So basically, because of that, it's way better to create a new function and create a new connection to this and then use it. So once you're done with that, and I created one more package file for removing punctuation marks, as I told you that I use regex. So with the help of that, I get the data. I've just removed the clutter from the data from the key, and then pass it to data, cross check in the database. If it is there, then give a response back, and if it is not there, then just get a response with a random choice that it's not available or something, with a funky nicest way that I can put through, and then just give a response back on the chat. Yes, I commented this because we're not using speech system, so we don't need this line. You could delete it if you want. Exception is way better because if you're dealing with the chat system, it doesn't look good that your response get freeze and it doesn't give you a response to something, or it get disconnected. So it's way better that you just simply reply that I ran into an error, it seems, and then you're done with that. Finally, just close the database so that it's available for the next iterate, and secondly, just pass the data value. Even if it is even if it doesn't work, just you have the data value, pass it to the database. So in case if the keyword is the responsible part who create this exception, even then you will be able to detect it, and then you can work on it. So it's way better to use this once. So what this function is doing is basically the same thing, putting the things. It's like insert or ignore. So basically I am using unique value. So if you're using unique value, it's very important that you put insert or ignore. So basically, if the value is already there in the table, it's just going to ignore and jump to the next one. So this is somehow helpful for me to even do it. Generally, this insert will work for one by one, but if you're using CSV file or something that you're trying to import, the next is coming and you import for the new one, it can cause a problem. So it's way better to go with insert or ignore, and then just keep on inserting the values. It's doing nothing, but it's just getting the data and then pushing into database. That's all. So this is ConvoDB part that we are dealing with. Then the second thing is remove punctuation marks. So I've told you how I'm using remove punctuation. So this remove punctuation file is doing nothing, but I just created all the punctuation in a single string, and then cross-checking if the character are there in the punctuation. If they are not there, then keep on adding, right, and then push them into a single string, put them into lowercase. If there is an apostrophe still, then just replace it with none, and then store the value in the database, in the data variable, not in database, sorry. Then there are two things, like there is a possibility that we have a word like the people used to express their laughter by saying ha ha ha, like ha, or hi. So using that, I need to be sure that if the string length is single character, then it is possibility it is ha, right? So for that I did a split function. If this length is greater than 1, then it's okay. It's like 2 or 3 words are there, just pass the string as it is. We don't want to regex or something like that. But if the length is less than 1, then pass it to regex Shyna. So this is the defined function that I've used. This is the regular expression that I have used to detect HA or HI, not with T. So basically that is a word, that is a single word, and it has HA, but it is not a after expression. And hit is also a word which has HI, which have HI, and but it is not even a positive. It's not even laughter. So be sure to suppress them, and then we are not going to substitute any value with them. And this is the basic function that we have. Like, we're going to store it into result. If result contains HA, then return the value HA. And then if it is not, if it doesn't have, and if it has HI, then return HI. If it doesn't have anything like that, HA or HI, then simply pass the string back to it, and then we can simply go to response part. So once you clean all this up, you just need to go to crosscheck, get a response, and give it back to this file. This file is basically which how we are interacting with Telegram. This is the client, how we have created the client, and we are dealing with them. So we have events, we have Telegram clients. This is a ConvoDB that I've imported, and credentials. So I created a file, as I've told you previously, that it's better to create a file and then use the API ID and API hash ID and store it there. That credentials file contains everything from me, like contains Facebook logins, Gmail login, Twitter login, everything, to get the data easily, and I don't have to show up the password and the email address or anything like that. So best thing is, like, this is the method that gonna object that gonna create a session. So it creates basic file, that is session.name.session file, and once that session file is created, for the very first instance, it's gonna ask you for your number and the code that is going to send on that number. Once that is done, then this client is basically registered with the Telegram, and it's not going to ask you for the login credential again and again. So it's if you use a wrong number or something like that, you can simply delete the file, and then you can simply it will ask you again. So this is kind of a hack that I tried previously. This is like event new message. So it has a method which work for the upcoming messages that are coming for the with the event class, and once that is there, I'm just gonna use them. Cross-checking, same functionality that I use for speech system, that if it contains Shyna, then simply say yes or no, and if it doesn't contain, then simply go to the database, cross-check with the keyword, and give a response back, and then simply put a reply. We have an option for reply and response both. So how it differs is, I'll make sure that let me just cross check if it's running or not. So yeah, it is already running. I haven't stopped it. Wow. Let me show you a live also. This is my chat. This is her profile that I've created on Telegram, right? So if I simply ping her, let me just open the application. Yeah, so you see that come on, this is basically a reply option. If you go a response, it comes like this message and that message, this message and that. You just long press in WhatsApp and then you give a reply, otherwise you simply respond to the chat message. So I have something like, how are you feeling? This is like why third new sentence, sorry, I'm informed to shift. So this is where it doesn't know what happened and what I'm supposed to say, that kind of thing. So this is this section basically. Wow, I'm really, a lot of code is there, huh? So not trained on this yet, you can simply get a glimpse of. So this is the one, or let me expand it. So sorry, I'll inform it to shift. This is like this. So this is where it doesn't know, it doesn't found the value in the database. So how are you? If I use that, so not too bad. This have a value. Then if I do this. So was you laughing or you just said hi in a short version? So hey, she's not trained on that. Okay, that come out of nowhere, so she doesn't know what happened. And then a very old command that is give me your introduction. She gave you an introduction to you. So this is working permanently, and it's going to give a reply based on your database, and then you can simply use it. So wrapping it first faster way, I'll make sure I'll put the links, valuable links, in the description so you can refer and use it. Please comment below if I forget anything. Thank you.